In this short video, I'm going to show you how to use the Follow Me tool to add wood base and crown molding around the perimeter of the room. Now I'm showing a very clean model. There's no furniture or any architectural elements in here, just to give you a clear view of how we use this tool. I do recommend that you add wood base and crown molding early on in your 3D modeling process because you won't have anything in the way as you start to work through this Follow Me tool. So that's an important thing to remember. But if you already have your furniture and some of your architectural elements in there, leave your architectural elements on, but maybe hide some of your furniture that goes around the perimeter of the room or that's close to the wall temporarily. You can set up a scene just to do Follow Me where that furniture is hidden. Now to turn Follow Me on, you want to go to View and Toolbars, and you want to make sure that the large tool set is selected. Once you do that, you can hit Close, and the Follow Me tool is right here. Now there's two steps that have to come before you do the Follow Me tool. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to create the shape that is going to be, that you're going to take around the perimeter of the room. And usually for wood base, I just use a rectangular shape. Now, before I build that rectangular shape, I will usually make the floor a group and the wall where I'm adding the rectangular shape a group temporarily. So I just clicked on those and then I did a right click and I'm going to hit Make Group. And then I'm just going to use the rectangle tool to add that shape. Now we're going to make it a rectangle and then we're going to pull it to give it some actual shape, and then we'll fix the size of it. Now I'm going to make it about 4 inches high because that's the typical height of base, 4 to 5 inches. And obviously that's too thick, right? So I'm going to stretch it back and make it thin. So the similar thickness of what a wood base would be. Now when using the Follow Me tool, we only actually need this one side profile right here. So I am going to delete the other elements. Oops, I deleted too much right there. I'm going to delete some of the elements of this rectangular shape. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the base the color that I want it to be. It's important to do that before you use the Follow Me tool, especially if you have a base that has a lot of detail. So I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to paint it white. Select your colors. And I'm going to paint both sides. All right, and so now you're ready to use the Follow Me tool. So that was step 1. Now, before you even click Follow Me, there's another step that you have to do, and that is you have to select your path. So you have to tell Follow Me where you want it to go. So you hit your selection arrow, and then I want this to go around the perimeter of the room here. So I hit my selection arrow, I'm going to select this area right here. Now notice as I'm selecting it, it's trying to select the entire wall here, and that's because I made it a group. So before you can select this line here, you need to ungroup that. So all you would want to do is select the wall and then hit Explode. Now I'm able to select my path. So I am going to start at the edge of where this rectangle is. And you can see that I have that line right here. Now I'm going to hold down Control so that I can select multiple lines or multiple paths. Now, finally, you're ready to hit the Follow Me tool. So I'm going to click Follow Me, and then I usually come on the inside of that small rectangle that I created. So I'm going to zoom in on that area. and then hit that inside part of the rectangle. And then as I zoom out, oops, you should be able to see that Follow Me is around, or the wood base that I use Follow Me for is around the entire perimeter of the room. This is easier than trying to extrude something around the perimeter of the room. It's actually, you know, once you have your room set up, it's just a few clicks to do that. Now I'm going to show you how to add something a little bit more sophisticated. So let's say that you wanted some type of detailed crown molding. You can go and get that from the 3D warehouse. So I'm going to go to the 3D warehouse right here. And I'm going to look for, you can look under architectural products, or you can just simply type in crown molding, and then we'll just see what comes up. Now, sometimes it will default to products. So these are products that people are, you know, that are from manufacturers that they're marketing here, or you can just click on models. And these are models that have already been created. And one thing that you'll notice is that a lot of these models are already created so that you can use the Follow Me tool easily. Now this one looks like it would work perfectly because it is just a side profile. So let's try that one first. So I'm going to hit download. I need to sign in. So I'm going to pause the video and sign in real quick. So let's try this again. We're going to download this crown molding directly into our model. And it looks like there were two separate shapes there, so we may have to look at them and pick which one we want to use. So it came in and you can see that it's very small. I'm going to actually move it to the point of the edge of my room. And then we may decide to modify this and make it a little bit bigger. Now the first thing that I would do to make it bigger is I would just do a uniform scale. Now, sometimes these, as you can see, these components, they can't come and they're very large. The piece may be very small, but the overall component and how they set it up is very large. All right, so you can see that it's just a side profile, but it's two different side profiles. So I'm going to right click and hit Edit Component. Or Edit Group. And that should allow me to delete a part of this. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this one. Now it's better when you're doing crown molding because you need this point right here to be at the edge of the room that you have a piece that's all the way filled in. If you don't, you can also edit the component and fill it in on your own. So our next step would be to then move this shape on into the perimeter of the room here, but I need to get out of Edit Component first. All right, so let's move it into the perimeter of the room, or at the edge of the room right here. And at this point, it is placed, and we can explode it at this point because we don't want this connected, you know, this very large model that's going off outside of our room. So we can just hit explode. And at that point, you may need to explode it a couple times so that you have this space with all the dots on it. And the next thing that I would do, you absolutely have to do this when you're doing crown molding because there's so many different edges to it, you have to paint it. It's going to save you a lot of time. So I'm just painting it white on both sides. Okay, so now I'm able to select this shape and I'm ready to do the Follow Me command. So our first step would be, again, to select our path. So go around the perimeter of the room. And so I'm going to hit my selection arrow. I'm going to select the edges here where the wall would meet the ceiling. Then I'm going to come hit my Follow Me tool. And then I come on the inside part of this shape and select that. And now we have this beautiful crown molding going all the way around the room. Again, a quick, easy way to add those very necessary details to a room. And they're just kind of the finishing touches to a room. You never see a room without wood base. You often see a room without crown molding, but if you have a more traditional design, you definitely want to add some crown molding where the wall meets the ceiling. Now, if you don't find the crown molding that you want exactly in a side profile, just remember that you can go to the 3D warehouse and you could download something that has more detail to it. So let's say that you found a crown molding that was perfect, but it was extruded out, or that it had too much to it. It had more than the side profile. That's okay. You can bring those in and you can edit the component and delete parts of the molding that you don't need. So you could bring this one in, for example, and you could just delete this area so that you just have this showing. So you have lots of options with crown molding and other different types of molding pieces, and chair railing and other elements as well. So that ends this short lesson on the Follow Me tool. I hope that helps.